Welcome back to my channel. This is NuttyNu, and today's video I'm going to teach you guys, or I'm going to give you guys some tips and a review of what I bring to Russian River to go do some salmon fishing for reds. In my last video I showed you guys how to set up your fly rod and all the gears you need for your fly rod, so make sure you guys check out that video if you guys need to learn about that. And I also made a mistake in that video, guys. I actually purchased the wrong fishing rod for the reel that I had. The fishing rod that I bought in that video was a casting rod where you're supposed to cast it this way, and a casting rod is not made for a spinning reel. So today I went and refunded that to Walmart, and I went back to Bass Pro and I actually bought a different rod. This is still an ugly stick. This is a 7-footer medium and a 10 to 25 pound, and this was $70, and it also came with the new reel, so why not? So I have a fresh new fishing rod and reel, same setup, same line, 40 pounds, same everything. And I took my old rod and the old reel and I hung it up, and it's now a backup, so I'll probably be bringing them, both of them, when I go to Russian River. So with that said, we're gonna set the rod away. We're gonna be talking about stuff, gears that can help you when you go to Russian River. So this video is more for all you new folks, new beginners, people that are trying Russian River for the first time. If you guys are experienced with Russian River, please feel free to give me some advice in the comment section, or if you guys have any advice of your own, leave in the comment section down below. Whenever I go to Russian River, always bring a cooler. Even if you're gonna be there for one day, one night, bring a cooler, bring ice. And you don't need to bring a big cooler, just a small one, just enough to fit maybe 3, 4, 6 fish, depending on what the limit is. So I always bring a cooler. I bring extra clothing. I usually wear shorts, I wear pants, and then I have sandals, a pair of shoes, and then another dedicated pair of shoes for my waders, and we'll talk about that in a bit. As far as gears go, I'm gonna give you guys a rundown of what I have, and then other things to bring along with you to make your trip the best. This is just a basic vest that I have, and then this is a brand new chest wader that I got. I got this from Bass Pro. This is a Caddis brand. Very, very basic. Costs about 100 bucks. This is a size XL for youth, XL, and it fits me perfectly. It's crazy because the one I had before was a small, guys. That's how skinny I was back then, but now I got bigger, so it is what it is. This is a basic wader. If you guys are buying chest waders, usually there's two types of chest wader. The one that's made with this fabric, it's very light, it's very thin, it's very light, and it's very comfortable, and it's also very breathable, and it dries faster. So I recommend these kind. The other one is the neoprene. Neoprene is a bit more thicker. It's more like a foam, so it's a bit more thicker. It's just as good. It is a little bit more heavier, and I've also noticed that the neoprene does take a little bit longer to dry. So it's up to you. Depends on what your budget is. But I've always had good experience with these. You just really have to know how to take care of it. Make sure you don't get around sharp stuff. Don't stretch too much. Don't break the stitch and stuff like that. So as long as you take care of your chest waders, you should be fine. Russian River is not a deep river, guys. If you don't want to go with the chest waders, you can just go with the hip boots. And I've also seen people go out there with just freaking boots that are up to their ankles. So it really depends on you, where you want to go. If you want to get into the water, or if you want to just fish off the shore, if fishing off the shore does give you a limited option depending on where you go. So it's up to you. I recommend just chest wader. It's more fun. It keeps you warm too during the nights and stuff like that. This blue strap here is a stinger. It's a homemade stinger to tie your fish. So there's actually a law at Russian River, and this law is that when you're fishing at Russian River, you must be within like 3 feet. Don't quote me on this, but it goes like this. You must be within 3 feet of your fishes and your gear. So if you have the backpack, you can't set them on dry ground and go fish. It's actually illegal to do that. A lot of people do that all the time, which is not good. And the reason behind that is because if there's a bear that comes, they can get to your stuff, and etc, etc. So whenever you're fishing for salmon at Russian River, when you get your fish must be with you at all times. You can't just tie them up to the shore and go back into the water and fish, because it attracts bear. So you gotta have a stinger. So this is a simple stinger. It has a carabiner at the end of it, and then it has a loop at the end of it. So the way it works is really simple. Once you get your fish, you just put this through their gills, comes out through their mouth, and then it goes into this loop here, and now the fish is tied up. And then you just take this carabiner and you just clamp it to your belt. Clamp it onto your belt, clamp it onto something that stays with you, and then now your fish can just float along with you. It does kind of get annoying sometimes when you're trying to fight other fish and you have to walk backward. You have to make sure you don't trip over this, but trust me, you get good at it, and you get to know how to dance and stuff like that. So have a stinger. These are a bit more better than the cheap thin one from other stores, because those guys get really hard to, they hurt your hands and stuff like that. So the next thing I have in my chest waders here is I have my fishing license, which I'm sure everybody has. Make sure you put your fishing license, your phone, your wallet into like a Ziploc bag or anything that's waterproof so it doesn't get wet in the case you do fall or something like that. This pocket here is a nice pocket for storage and stuff like that, but it's not waterproof. And this chest wader here has all my basic stuff from my other video. It has my sinkers, my hooks, my swivels, and that's pretty much it as far as fishing gear. And besides that, I also do recommend the tools that you guys do carry. One of the tools you guys can get is a Leatherman, or if you can't get a Leatherman, at least have a plier, and something to cut it with, so like a pocket knife and a flay knife, and we'll talk about that in a bit. Another thing to get is if you can get like a tether where you can tie your plier onto yourself so you don't drop it, because there has been time where I dropped this and luckily I was able to get it back on the ground. At the back of my chest I have a big pocket, and this pocket right here usually has my extra spools of line, and I also have my flay knife. So you make sure you bring a knife to cut your fish. If you're not comfortable doing that, you can just take your fish home and do it at home. But this is a very basic flay knife. I actually found this at Russian River. Somebody left it there and nobody was around, and I just took it, and now it's been super great. I do sharpen it here and there. And then also in the back of this, you can also keep like snack bars, because you will get hungry once you're out there, and you don't want to run back and forth to your car. It's just a hassle. So make sure you have whatever food or stuff that you like to snack on. And I usually carry water bottles behind here too, but I don't do that no more. I carry it with a backpack. So that's it for my chest wader. We'll set that aside. Alright, so now let's move on to some other stuff. So for your chest wader, we talked about that already. This chest wader doesn't have shoes, guys. So it doesn't have shoes. You guys can see right here. So these waders require you to wear a different separate shoes. You can buy expensive boots or stuff like that that's made for this, or you can just go to your local thrift store and buy some old new shoes, and this is what I did. My size is usually an 8.5, so when I wear these waders, since it's neoprene at the bottom, it's a bit thicker, so with my normal size being 8.5, I have to go up the size, and this size here is 11, size men's 11. So I just usually use these shoes, and these are dedicated for fishing only, so I wear these with my waders, and then whenever the season's over, I just put these shoes and store them away. Now, with that over, let's talk about a few things you should bring with you to make your experience much better. When I first started fishing at Russian River, I didn't bring these, and it was the worst thing ever. So whenever you catch your fish, guys, most of the time you're gonna have to hike back at least half a mile or even sometime 1 mile back to the parking lot, and if you're carrying them on your fish stinger, your hand will hurt really bad. So make sure you bring a flay knife, trash bags or Ziploc bags to put the fish meat back inside, and then you want to bring a backpack. Any backpack will work. A school backpack, a hiking backpack, how big of a backpack doesn't matter. If you want to bring whatever size you want. I usually bring this big old hunting backpack, and I can carry at least 6-10 plus fish in here. I can carry food, I can carry water, and anything that I might need. So make sure you bring a backpack. I also have this hiking backpack that I got about last year, and I never really used it, so I might start using this one, but this one is a bit small. But if I cut the fish, I can still put them in here. So make sure you bring a backpack, because trust me, when you get your fish, and let's say you get like 3 fish or 6 fish, depending on what the limit is, it's not gonna be fun carrying all that back to your car, etc. Another thing you want to carry is what do they call it? They call it a club. So it's a small piece of wood or a small piece of stick to hit the fish's head to kill the fish, and that's how you kill the fish. So they make those, and usually they're pretty expensive, but for me, I just have a piece of dowel rod like that, and usually I'll cut maybe about a foot of it. I'll drill a hole, tie a rope to it, and boom, there you go. There's your nice club, and club. You can club the fish. If you don't want to bring that, you can always just club it with the rocks on the shoreline. But sometimes it's hard to find a rock, so you can just buy a piece of dowel rod and use that. The other things you might want to bring to Russian River is, this is bear country, and yes, Russian River does have bears, mostly black bears and stuff like that that I've seen in the past. So if you are experienced with firearms, I highly recommend you do bring your firearms. I've seen people bring freaking revolvers, handguns, shotguns. We're not going to get into the logistics of guns, but if you have experience with gun, bring a gun that can take down a bear in the worst case scenario if it does happen. If you're not experienced with handguns, make sure you have at least a bear spray, and also go with people, make noise when you're walking on these trails, wear bear bell, and etc. I usually go by myself and I don't have an issue. I just have a bear bell, make sure I make lots of noise and stuff like that, play some music, etc. It's okay to be loud when you're on these trails, because it's the loudness you are, the more the bears will be aware of your surroundings and they won't bother you. So bring all that. Another thing to bring is that if you are planning to fish at nighttime, midnight, whatever, make sure it does get a little bit dark, so make sure you have a headlamp. Something like this is very basic. This is a 3 setting one. So make sure you have a headlamp, and these headlamps are really good when you're fishing, and also when you're walking back through those trails, because if you're walking at nighttime through those trails, it is pitch black and can get a little bit spooky. So make sure you have the light. So besides all of that, let's talk about some other gears that you might want to bring with you when you're out there fishing. If you go on a sunny day, you might want to bring some sunscreens. I usually don't bring sunscreen. That's just how I am. I like to get sunburn or suntan, and I usually just wear t-shirts. It is a good idea to wear long sleeve whenever you can. Also, you want to wear a hat. Guys, you can wear like a baseball hat. Ladies, you can wear a hat too, and it gives you protection from the sun and also from getting hooked when people if they do snag and hook. And also very important to wear eye protection, guys. Eye protection is very, very important. And also, not just that, you want to get a sunglass that's polarized. Polarized glass will deflect any glare in the water and also helps you see the fish. So if you guys don't know what polarized glass is, just check it out. Get yourself one. They're super affordable nowadays. You don't have to go with some stupid crazy brand, and it really, really helps you search for fish. I wear glasses, so I usually have to wear my glass, and then usually I'll just slide these right over my glasses. So it's kind of weird, but it fits on there, and then I can keep eyes. I can see the fish. I can see when the fish is coming and stuff like that. So if you don't have polarized glasses, you're definitely losing against the other guys that are wearing it, because they can see when the fish is coming, they can see where the spools is, they can see what's in front of them, and etc. So definitely get yourself some polarized glasses. Super cheap, less than 20 bucks at Walmart, and again, you can get whatever quality you want, whatever brand you want. It's up to you, up to your budget. Make sure you wear that. And again, they provide 2 things, which is helping you find your fish and also protection from when people are swinging their hooks. Somebody might swing a hook and it might snap back and it might come hit your eyes, but if you have safety glass or these glasses, it protects you from that. One thing I also noticed about Russian River is that a lot of people bring their bicycle, and I might do that this year because I got my bicycle. So what they'll do is they'll park their vehicle at the parking lot, and then they can bike to whichever spot they want. So for example, Grayling parking lot is one of my favorite parking lot. If I can get that spot right there, I can just walk right down the trail and get to where I want to go. But if I can't get to Grayling parking lot, let's say I'm parked further, I can always park my vehicle, get on my bike, get to the Grayling parking lot, lock up my bike, and then walk down the trails. So a lot of people do that all the time. So if you guys do have a bicycle, that's a really, really great idea, and you can still carry all your gear, all your backpack, wear your waders, and bike through the campground. So that's really, really easy. So that's something I might be doing this year, which is bringing my bicycle in case I can't get a parking lot where I want to go. So I think that's pretty much it for what I have for this video, guys. These are all the stuff that I usually bring with me to go fishing when I go to Russian River. Very, very basic stuff, nothing too crazy. You know, everything else is all optional. Food, drinks, whatever you want to bring out there, trash bags, stuff like that. And I always flay and cut my fish out there because it just makes it easier, less trash when you get back home, and also much more lighter on the way to pack it out. Try not to pack too much. Try to pack light. The much lighter stuff you pack, the much more enjoyable it is. So it sounds like it's a lot of stuff, but once you get it going, it's really, really easy. It's very easy and it's very simple. So that's all for what I have for this video, guys. If you guys have any other tips, advice, any other tricks, anything like that that might make fishing more enjoyable at Russian River, please feel free to leave in the comment section below. If you guys have any more questions, let me know in the comment section below. And if you guys want to learn, check out some other videos, make sure you guys check out my other fishing videos at Russian River and my other videos on how to set up your fly rod for Russian River. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.